We don't have to go, oh, it's not about the presents under the tree, boys and girls.
Right.
No, why not just get under the tree and talk about Jesus?
Wow.
Our traditional Christmas things and traditions and movies, they don't have to detract from, but they need to revolve around and be redeemed in such a way that they are part of the groundswell of anticipation that does point towards Jesus.
Yeah, man.
And if you can do that, what a Christmas season / Advent season. What a day of celebration that will be when we get to December 25th. Hey!
What's going on?
Feliz Navidad. That's what I'm talking about.
Feliz Navidad. That's what it's about.
It.
That's it. That is the Feliz Navidad.
Joy to the world.
The Lord has come.
Joy to the world.
Yeah.
And jingle bells and wishes you. All right, we're talking about Advent season. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go down to the Wawa. Now don't go over to the cash register with the girl with the pink hair and the nose ring.
Man.
Go to the other one.
Listen.
And you want to ask for the lady. What's the bacon lady?
Sister Harmony.
Sister Harmony. And then what you gonna do? He's gonna give you a code.
Yeah.
Go down the road, find the mailbox bin over to the left, turn down there, get you some pound cake, smothered and covered.
Yes, no, it's banana pudding pound cake.
There it is.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It is a thing.
I believe you.
You know, it's good.
I believe you. Well, last week we talked about Advent. We talked about the word Advent, which is comes from a Latin word, which means anticipating arrival or coming. That's the most basic meaning of that word. We talked about how this has been a very rich part, our tradition in church history and the church for many, many years, going back to the 300s, actually. And then as we progressed through our conversation, there was kind of a fourfold thematic approach to honoring Advent, to waiting well, to creating a groundswell inside of us so that we could anticipate and then celebrate the birth of Jesus. And a lot of that does revolve, or has at times revolved around lighting a candle, one for each of the 4 Sundays of Christmas following Thanksgiving and leading up to Christmas. And those 4 emphases are hope, peace, joy, and love. And so we kind of tried to break that down. All right, last week the point was this, to answer this question: what is Advent and why is it important? And this week we're going to take a little bit of a different approach because, ladies and gentlemen, if it doesn't apply, then it's not that important. Like it's to me, theology is the most relevant thing on the planet in the history of the universe. The theology, words about God, words of God, most relevant thing any human being could study and to know. And so, but here's the thing: theology that remains theoretical is pointless. If it doesn't become applied theology, if it doesn't impact the way I think, the way I feel, the way I act, the way I decide, the way I live, then it's wasted. And the same thing is true with Advent. We can talk about Advent, which is a biblical idea. It is a theological idea. We can talk about Advent all day long. You could listen and go, I agree with that. You can watch candles from afar being lit. But if you are not taking the necessary steps, let me say it this way. If you are not creating margin in your own life to observe Advent, then you are not a participator. You are merely an observer. And what we're trying to say is, okay, last week was the what and why it's important. This week, we're going to talk to you about how we apply this, how we engage the Advent season or observe the Advent season, how we move from being an observer to a participator in this beautiful season that we call Christmas. And so is that a fair breakdown and assessment of where we're headed?
Great, man. That's awesome. I mean, even down to the direction to Wawa and stuff. But no, I think it's so important as we talk about the what, the why. Let's talk about And so I thought it'd be great, bro, as we have this conversation. I mean, one of the things that I have so just loved and appreciated about you and your family is the intentionality to the approach of this season, where there are a lot of traditions that you and Chris have built within your family, centered around not just Advent season, but just the Christmas season as a whole and stuff. And so maybe when we talk about the application, if you will, maybe we start with a couple traditions and stuff. I thought that'd be good, just to talk about that, just how you kind of bake it all in, to the season that we're in right now.
Yeah. Well, tradition is so important. If you understand the purpose of a tradition, traditions preserve something in the past, and they also create culture in the present.
Yeah.
And so traditions matter in our home like they do in yours, Jeff, because we're trying to constantly create culture.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we do have some traditions, like a lot of families do. My wife loves all things Christmas, and I love that about her. It's one of my favorite things about her. Is she just loves, so she does decorate early. She gets everything set up. But when she decorates our house, there's a lot of just fun merriment everywhere.
Yeah.
But at the center of our house is what we use to do our Advent devotionals. And so, in fact, we have these 25 days set over our fireplace. It's in the middle of our den.
Yeah.
And no matter where you're standing in the house, on the lower floor, you see it.
Yeah.
And, so even in the midst of all the merriment, she tries to make sure that that's front and center. But we do love our traditions. So we wrap our traditions in the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah. We
come up with our own version of the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah.
And so my wife, will kind of orchestrate that, and we'll actually put them up and move them over as we do them. We have a kind of these French doors that go into our backyard, and so we put all these different pieces of paper up with tape on the back of them that each represent a different day of Christmas, and then we move them over to the other door as we do them. And they're simple things, a lot of them, not all of them. Some of them we do go big on, but they're mostly simple things like a day where we bake, or Chris will bake, and each kid will bake something with her in the kitchen.
Yeah.
We'll do a movie pajama day.
We'll
go pick out an ornament.
Yeah.
Each kid gets to pick out an ornament, and that's a tradition my wife started some time back, because she got the idea that she would take and she writes on the bottom of each ornament the
I love
year.
that. That's such a cool thing.
Yeah, and the kid that picked it out, and then one day when they're adulting and they get their own house and their own tree, she's going to give that to them they don't know it's coming, but she's going to give that to them as a gift. And so that's a tradition. We live in Orlando, so we're going to do we'll do some of the parks. There's some great decorations here in Orlando we'll go see. We'll pick a movie, go to the theater. We love going to the theater every once in a while. So Mufasa's coming out.
It is.
So that's going to be, we've already put that on the door. That's
the 20th.
That's one of our days of Christmas. And we just try to find a lot of fun things that we get to do together. I think all good things come from above, the Bible teaches us. I think going and enjoying a movie together as a family, I think when you got an 18-year-old and a 9-year-old and everything in between, and my wife and I sitting there and we're having fun and we're laughing and we're talking about it, we're being a family, I think that makes God happy. I think that's I don't see that as something that stands in contradiction to my faith.
Yeah.
And so we do our traditions. We enjoy our traditions.
Yeah.
I started a new one this year. I'm not into the Elf on the Shelf thing.
That's one of ours. The Elf on the Shelf has been.
That sounds like a lot of work, Jeff.
Dude, it is. Trust me.
Like it's.
Oh my gosh, it is. And the little fella moves around.
You gotta be elaborate with.
Yeah, man, he moves around the house, and now with the rise of social media, my kids posting about where the elf is and stuff.
And then you're seeing other ideas, so they gotta outdo.
Oh, the Elf on the Shelf, that could be kind of.
Never done Elf on the Shelf. Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I did buy. It was like $4.99, probably at Walmart or something. I bought a little Star Wars, the droids in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I bought a little First Order droid.
Yeah.
But he's dressed up in green and he has a star on top of him.
Of course you did.
And so every night I hide it.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's not about Elf on the Shelf and Santa. It's
your tradition.
It's about, can you find it?
Yes.
And so there's a scoreboard on a refrigerator. Like every night I find it. And if they can't find it, I get a point.
Really?
If I hide it that well.
Now, do you get to a place for like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? Do y'all tally up all the scores?
That was our first year doing it. We're going to tally it up. We haven't figured out what day, but at Christmas. So we'll tally it up, and I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to beat the socks off of my kids.
I love
the
that.
glory of Jesus.
Yeah.
And so, but that's a fun tradition. Yeah. Like, it's just, they wake up every morning, and they're looking as much as they can to find that silly thing.
Yeah.
Because they want to beat me, you know? Yeah. And so we do some fun things.
You know the beauty of that, Brent, and so as you know, I'm in Cole and I are in a new season of life. This is our first year where we'll have our daughter-in-law that'll come down, and we'll have Christmas with our daughter-in-law.
You know what comes after that?
More another daughter-in-law.
Yeah. Eventually, there's gonna be enough daughter-in-laws. There's something else gonna be happening.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, it's in the right order. He's married now, so yes.
Oh yeah.
And so, but to your point, one of the things we have a lot of similar traditions that we raised our boys as well. I wish we would have thought. Cole and I talk about this all the time. Like, man, and we wish we would have thought about the ornament thing. We talk about that now. We'll start now, and so I know Jay and Day listens to our podcast, so I can't tell you about the surprise we have for them. But we're starting traditions for them.
You told me it was gold carat, like it was had real diamonds encrusted on it.
And we changed our mind on that.
Oh, okay.
But the beauty of what you're talking about, setting those traditions, it's been cool to see our kids as now they're starting the adulting process, having their own families. CJ, we know he's going to pop the question at 25. And
does she know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
She does.
I was trying to protect you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
she did.
Okay.
She knows. She
okay.
doesn't know when.
Congratulations.
But they've talked to both. He's talked to her family and everything. So, but what's been cool is hearing them talk about with now my daughter-in-law and then future and all the traditions that they were raised in, and how that has shaped the way that they want to, enter into developing traditions in their own home. Not just, about both, the
Which
fun.
Is a good thing.
Yeah.
Awesome
the fun Christmas activities, but then also the Advent stuff. So at our church, as student pastor, we would always, with our church, we would always kind of have a dual Advent, kind of like a family ministry Advent calendar that we would do, where we would have different activities and devotions that you as a family can do around the table during Advent season. And so that's something that we always did as a family. So I would obviously talk about it in my youth group, but then we would come, and Quo and I would come and do things. And then what we would do is that we would let each one of the kids, and even Cameron, I remember he was so cute as he was a little boy, he would try to, do his own Advent devotion, like lead the devotion. And so, every week, the boys would do one of the four. Yeah. And then Quo and I would lead the last one. Yeah. And so, or we would flip it. We would start and then they would lead. So, but just, it's been cool to see them talk about building those traditions in their own home, but also creating a sense of sacredness, in the midst of the commercialization of Christmas, but still having that sacredness of saying, hey, we're going to celebrate Advent.
Have now that you're in this new phase, and it'll continue to be, I mean, like you said, are there any new traditions that y'all are doing?
Mark
so this new chapter?
Yes, sir. So we are, really trying to have experiences that are fun, where we have shared memories, but then also spiritual and sacred, where we come together as an extended family and pray over one another. And so there's a blessing that Quo and I will do over Jay, and they know this, over Jay and Day, and really now have, as our family expands, bringing them into that. So we'll have fun, but we will still, Quo and I will still shepherd, I guess, if we could say it that, if I could say it that way, our grown kids. And so we're looking forward to, we'll do Disney. And so we'll do Disney one day, and then we'll have she's going to make a big meal.
Which park y'all do?
We're going to do Hollywood Studios.
Oh, such a great, we
do Hollywood
They got
Studios.
The snow, and they light up the thing, and you can,
man, we can't wait, dude.
I could stand on that street and watch that building change colors. They put different, what's it called, project mapping, Brian, where they put, different scenes. Oh, it's such a cool thing.
Man, listen, so we're gonna open it up and shut it down. We're going all day. But then another day we will have where we'll go and we'll get breakfast. We'll go somewhere and have a fun little breakfast somewhere. But then she's gonna make dinner. Yeah. And during that dinner is a time where we'll just kind of talk about, just family, the importance of it, but then her and I will grab, get everybody together, and our form of going through the Christmas story with them, but then also just doing a blessing there. So we're excited. That's something new. This will be the first year that we're doing that.
That's what I was asking. I mean, this is a new,
it's a new year. So say all that to say that as we had a lot of similar traditions as you and Chris, but now watching them, and the reason why that's important is because we're watching them hold on to that as they develop their own. Yeah. But then simultaneously, we're also developing as a family, new traditions. So exciting those traditions.
That is cool, man. And that's so cool. Well, whenever your kids go, I'm going to tell my own story. I think there's something to parenting where, the last thing I whispered in my son's ear before I kissed him and hugged him for a last time and left him at college. Yeah. Was, hey man, go tell your own story, not mine. Yeah, not your mom's, good. Not your siblings, not anybody at our church. Not you. Go tell your own story.
That's good. Yeah.
And so when you see your kid doing that, and yet they tell it in such a way where they go, "But you taught me how to tell a story."
That part.
So I'm going to take a couple ingredients to the recipe. Yes, that's got to be a fun thing.
Yeah, it is. And so we're in the midst of that, but again, it comes from what we have made an intentional, how we've been intentional about creating those traditions around the season of Advent, as well as just the fun stuff that we do as a family. And so all right, so what about so I know the traditions, are there any Crow traditional movies?
Christmas? I love movies.
Yeah.
There's something, we don't watch it, the only time we turn our TV on is, during football season, personal confession. I watch TV by myself when I'm watching football. Outside of that, is to do it, we use TV as something we do together as a family.
Gathering.
And we're really, we love to be outside, where we live. We love to be active. We love, but then there's a part of you that also loves to go, hey, start at 5:00 tonight. Yeah. Like, for example, I'm going to get in trouble, I'm going to get in so much trouble. So Chris has been gone the last 2 days. So when she's gone, it's rare that Mama's gone.
Oh, I know. And the kids, not that they love it, they love her mom.
They love what happens.
It's Christmas is coming early.
And so, I was like, all right, I got dinner.
Yeah.
And
okay.
So I went to the grocery store, and I bought every silly Christmas treat I decorated our table. Yeah. I did with so many candies and cookies, and I was horrible.
Oh man, that's so good.
I was and then I brought them in. I'm like, all right, come on in. Nobody's seen it yet. Yeah. So I brought the kids in. I said, Mom's gone. This is your buffet of dinner. And I was like, everybody go get pajamas on. Yeah. We're gonna eat these treats. Oh. We're gonna watch Christmas movies. Yeah. So we love doing it.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that.
We put names, because when you got so many kids we do, we put names in a hat, and then we draw a name. Yeah. And then that kid gets to pick the movie.
Okay.
And the rules go, whatever they pick, everybody else celebrates.
Okay.
Right? Because I don't want no.
Why we gotta watch that? Yeah.
You shut your mouth.
Yes, you gotta.
And you learn to do what the Bible teaches you about rejoice with those who rejoice. So
yes.
The first person that was drawn from the hat picked a movie called The Star. Have you heard of it?
I have not. No.
Okay, it's an animated film. It's got everybody in it.
Really?
Every Mariah Carey, Kelly Clarkson, Oprah Winfrey. What's the comedian that he almost passed away? The Walmart truck hit his tour bus, and he.
I see his face. Oh gosh, I know you're talking about.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he wears glasses, and yes, I know.
Anyways, it was him, the lady that was on Wicked on Broadway for all those years. She's in it. It's a who's who, but it's a fun telling of the story of. It starts with Mary and Joseph getting married, and she's pregnant, and she's got to tell him, and she's visited by an angel, he's visited by an angel. It's really, for it being Hollywood,
The Star.
It really was honoring, I thought. And it's great music. Great. Reba McEntire's in it. I mean,
really? Is it a musical? Or is it?
No. There's some music in it, but it's no. So it's called The Star.
The Star. Okay.
And I think you can get it on Prime, but it was, and so that was the first one we watched this year. It was awesome. It was awesome. Our kids love it.
Yeah. Is it a week-to-week thing or just kind of sporadic?
It's sporadic, because of, all the different schedules in our house and whatnot. So, I think we've got circled on the calendar. Today's Thursday, so we got circled next Wednesday. We're going to do a movie night. Yeah. We don't do a ton. Yeah. But, man, we try to, when we do, kind of all right, we're going to settle in, watch a couple movies. Yeah. Love those old-fashioned cartoons.
Oh, man.
The old cartoons are the best. Yeah, in my opinion.
I grew up, dude, on
now
Frosty.
You're asking stuff we watch with the kids, right?
Yeah, right. With the kids. With the kids. With the kids. Yes. Okay, well, what...
Is it safe?
Yeah, it's always safe.
You're not going to cancel me?
No, I can't say anything about our audience.
Okay.
But I won't.
I mean, never. Christmas Vacation is...
Oh, man. Oh.
It's the 35th year of anniversary of that movie.
Has it been 35 years?
1989 it came out. Yeah.
Really?
That's the year Brian was born. Thanks for that.
Thanks, Brian. No,
I was 11 years old when you were born. No, but so yesterday morning, Chris goes to walk out of the house, go meet her mom, and she's wearing a sweatshirt because it's... we've had just a rare cold day here in Orlando, Central Florida, and her shirt says, "It's a Butte, Clark."
That's awesome.
And I was like, "That's why I love you. You're literally wearing a Christmas Vacation sweater. It's a Butte, Clark."
That's awesome. Yeah, but I don't know it's 35 years. That's crazy and still a classic. Oh. It's still one of the best. I mean, for real. So no judgment here.
Some inappropriate stuff.
Yeah, it is, but no judgment.
I only watched the TV version.
Me too.
All right, what's the first Christmas movie y'all watched this year?
Honestly, we still do the Grinch, man.
Which one?
There's
3.
Yeah, we still love the last cartoon and stuff.
The most recent one?
Yeah.
The one with Benedict Cumberbatch, the English guy who played Doctor Strange.
Yes.
That's our kid's favorite too.
Yeah. That is still the favorite so far. I guess not so far, but just period. That's been the favorite.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So the Grinch is still. We
watched that one at the beginning.
That's the one that we watched. Well, we just had it for Thanksgiving break, and so we said because of our schedules, knowing that we only have the boys for
the music's good.
Oh yeah. You
know who the did you recognize the narrator? It's Pharrell.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I promise you, man. Because we're sitting there. And we've been watching it all these years, like you guys, and we're like, man, that voice. Who's the narrator of this thing? Look it up, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Sure is. He sure is.
Yeah, Pharrell is the narrator. So you're so used to music from him.
Yeah.
But he narrates.
That is crazy. All the time.
He's so good at it, too.
2018. I never. I don't know.
You think about it, because he narrated... our grandkids will know his voice and be like, oh, that's the narrator for the Grinch. Not Pharrell. He'll be the narrator for the Grinch. Yeah.
So we like the elf. I mean, we still like the elf. That is
How do you not?
Yeah, I mean, that is.
Oh my gosh, such a great movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and I make now. This is the only time that I'll tell I've told my boys, hey, this is just something that was passed down from me to you. And so, Frosty the Snowman, the old cartoon.
Great movie.
Yeah. That one for me growing up was the one. And so
did you like the Rudolph ones too?
Oh,
I did
of
too.
It. Yeah, bro.
Santa Claus comes to town and
all of it. Now,
this new generation, they don't appreciate
these young whippersnappers. They just don't. So anyway, that's the kind of movie deal for us. So same tradition, same movie. But then I love, as we were talking about, just kind of, and you hit on this last week when we talked about the different ways that you can celebrate
Advent.
Or not. When I say celebrate, just
the different ways all that revolves around Advent. Yeah.
And I think for us, like I said, we still now what we have done, Brent, to be creative with it is that we have a family chat. And so I will send out weekly Advent devotions to our family. That's number one. And
that's
so,
a great idea.
We just kind of keep that before everyone. And then I'll just kind of I'll send out a
Do you make them do a test before you give them Christmas presents?
No, I should.
You should.
I should. And see.
Say, before we hand these gifts out.
Yeah.
Could you A, B, or C?
Right. But I will say
whoever got the most got like this
Cameron
crazy
would get
Cameron
would get the most, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, hands down. And here's the thing: CJ and Jay already know. They've accepted that he's the overachiever.
Yeah,
and
I can see that. Cameron would get the most.
So they don't even buck. So even if he got the gift, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's fine." Yeah. But what we've done there, that was if I'm being honest, that was a hard shift.
I bet it was
for us. But
you're so used to
FaceTime.
Yeah.
And we will still do that. We will have, when we can, like Sunday FaceTime, where we'll all kind of get together. We'll do that during this season, where we'll get together and kind of walk through.
That's got to be a tough transition to go from being one of the main characters to a supporting cast role.
Yeah. That's
really at that stage, you're, as a parent, you're the supporting cast of them telling a new story.
Yeah, because you think about it, so right now, Cameron's doing his thing in college, and he's busy with band and all that stuff. CJ's working at Comcast. His schedule's kind of crazy. Jay's working, at the church, and so we're trying to still commemorate and maintain certain traditions.
Yeah.
But also understanding how to become more of a supporting cast.
Yeah.
And so we'll do that. And so, but what I
love the fact that you send weekly emails out.
Yeah.
Or however you do text us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so what I've appreciated is that there's dialogue back there. I ask, hey man, what's the Lord saying to you guys this week?
So it's a text thread.
It's a thread. Yeah, we have a family thread, and everybody's communicating, and so it's fun, and and then so everybody doing, CJ is the silly one of the family, and so his is always, I need some peace because we're dealing with his team at Comcast.
Yeah.
And I told him, I don't need some extra Advent this
CJ,
week.
CJ, here's what you're gonna
do. So that's been kind of over the last couple of years, a new thing, because we did, if I'm being honest, Quo and I went a few years where we just didn't know how we fit.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out how. And there was a bit of frustration that we had because we were used to every week we tried it. Okay, Jay, you get on Zoom or something and you're doing it, this week. But then CJ had to work, and so we would cancel because we wanted everybody there. So for a couple of years, we were kind of playing double dutch, trying to figure out how to jump in. But now we've gotten a rhythm where they actually look forward to it, and they would before Cameron, actually, he was the one that reminded me. He's like, Dad, before he left for Thanksgiving, he said, hey, when are you sending the the Advent.
That's awesome.
And so I was like, oh, don't worry, I'm working on it. I got it, and everything. So that's what we're doing right now for us. And then again, we're trying to lead into the Christmas season that we'll have when the family will be all together.
Yeah. We've I can't remember how many years ago she and Josh did this, but the Nassers are like family to us.
Oh yeah.
So Jennifer and David have just been
phenomenal.
I mean, they've walked beside us, with us. They're friends, they're family. We look up to them. There's a lot going on there. Jennifer and a gentleman named Josh Rutledge years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, wrote a Advent devotional called Advent for Everyone.
It's great devotional.
And so we started using that as our devotional every year. And just because of our personal relationship, Jennifer put together a little bag for us.
Oh, wow.
Of the items she used with her, because the book came from how they celebrated Advent with their children growing up, how they observed and anticipated and waited.
Yeah.
But she had a little item each day that they could hold.
Yeah.
That went along with that devotional.
So good.
So she sent us a bag of those. There's a key one day that goes with the devotional. There's a basket one day.
That's awesome.
There's a little bitty item.
Yeah.
And so we've kept it. I mean, we've had that 6, 7, 8, whatever it is, years, and we've kept that, and we do it every year, and we do it not around the table. So we do our Advent devotionals sitting in the den on the floor underneath the tree.
Really?
Because we want our kids to spend an entire month in that place, anticipating the gift that is the child that would be born, the son that would be given.
Not the gift that's under the tree.
And so that when we get to Christmas morning and they do have gifts under that tree, and they're going, this is great, but this is just, I mean, this is
so cool.
This is nothing compared to that,
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
so
really cool.
we use the imagery of a Christmas tree and the place that someone would traditionally open gifts.
Yeah,
to
that's really cool.
Anticipate the gift of Jesus every single day.
Wow.
And that's been a big part.
Phenomenal.
And if I tried to move that devotional to the kitchen table,
ain't happening.
My big kids my teenagers would be the first person to tell me, like, Dad, we're in the wrong spot.
Right.
We're supposed to be sitting over there.
That's so awesome.
And but it's called Advent for Everyone. Jennifer Nasser, Josh Rutledge, and
great book.
Great devotional. We've used it every year with our family, and it's really, really good.
Brent, that's phenomenal. I love the connection point of understanding holistically what this moment in this season really represent and symbolizes. Man, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, to do Advent, you don't have to rebel against some of the Christmas traditions that already exist or things that are typically part of this season, like gift giving. No, you don't have to. You have to redeem that. You have to reimagine that.
Yeah,
like we don't have to go, oh, it's not about the presents under the tree, boys and girls.
Right.
Why not just get under the tree and talk about Jesus?
Wow.
You do that every day, they're going to be like, yeah, there's presents, but man, this is the gift.
That's so good.
And so I think that the point that you and I have tried to emphasize in part 1 and 2 of this conversation is, like, our traditional Christmas things and traditions and movies, they don't have to detract from.
Yeah.
But they need to revolve around.
Yeah.
And be redeemed in such a way that they are part of the groundswell of anticipation that does point towards Jesus.
Yeah, man.
And if you can do that,
wow,
what a Christmas season / Advent season. What a day of celebration that will be when we get to December 25th.
Yeah, man.
When I was a kid, my parents used to on Christmas Day, my mom made a birthday cake. And we sang Happy Birthday to Jesus.
Oh, wow.
And I know that sounds silly.
No,
and I know
good.
some people think it's silly. And it probably is. But
you know
what I took away from that? This is about the birth of Jesus. I mean, I'm doing the tradition I'm doing with my kids.
Yeah.
because my parents did that tradition with me growing up.
Exactly.
And that's what we're saying here.
Yeah.
Is you don't have to run away from ornaments and decorations and Christmas lights, and why not just figure out a way to redeem all these traditions and have them revolve around what Christmas really is.
That's so good, man.
So,
wow.
Anyway.
Man, well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this was helpful, fun, just informative, or just a great reminder. I love, Brent, where you landed this conversation just on just the imagery of that. I mean, perfect closure there. And so I think, it's not enough for us to say, but just Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
What you're gonna do you gonna go on down to the Wawa. Treat yourself. Go on down to the Wawa.
Oh my God.
Now you're gonna go up to the right counter, and you're gonna ask for the what's the lady's name?
Sister Harmony.
You want some Sister Harmony.
The banana pudding pound cake.
Pound cake.
Yes.
Now don't go to the right. Not that silly with the earring and the pink hair and no. There's a good old boy down here at this other cat. Now then he's gonna tell you where to go. He's gonna give you a passcode. And then the sisters are gonna meet you back in the parking lot with your pound cake.
Yes, they will.
And you gonna have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Oh, man. Bro, I love you dearly. You my dog.
I love you too, man.
Well,
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Wander well, shine like stars.
God bless you.